of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. And he shall take the 2 goats, and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, 1 lot for the scapegoat, and the other lot for the Lord. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bullock, the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward. And before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his finger 7 times. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat, and before the mercy seat.
Let's go through the Bible and see the reason why Jesus was born in a stable where animals were kept. Now, in the beginning, before Jesus came into the world, humans were living in sin. And when humans sinned, instead of humans dying, they had to kill animals to sacrifice for them. So animals were killed to cleanse humans from sin. Now, no matter how many animals were killed, humans could not completely stay away from sin because they kept sinning. So they kept killing animals over and over, and the animals were assumed to take away the sins from human. But animals could not completely take away the sins from human because animals were not worth human beings. Humans are worth more than animals. So animals were killed over and over just to cover for our sin. Just to cover for our sin, and we needed life, and whoever sinned meant to die. But because God didn't want us to die, the blood of animals were used to replace us, but it could not reconnect us back to God because we are worth more than animals. And the sin covered the whole land. The land was also cursed. Humans were separated from God. Our life was miserable. People were sick, people were poor, everything was bad. More and more animals were killed. As humans continue to sin, they continue to kill animals to cover up for our sin. But no matter how many animals were killed, there was still so much sin. The rich was still mean to the poor. People were still sick. There was so many bad things happening. So Jesus had to come into the world as a human being who was going to die once and for all instead of us using animals. He wanted to die for the poor and for the sick. That is why he came in a place where animals were kept, so that he could die for us. His blood was going to cleanse us, and then we're going to be free once and for all. So he came into the world as a sacrificial animal, and then he died on the cross in place of the animals. Now we don't need the animals anymore. Jesus has died for everybody, even for the children yet unborn. Now even the earth is now cleansed. Jesus came where animals were kept to show us that he was the one that was going to take away the sin. Instead of the animals taking the sin, he has taken away the sin from us, and we are now free. We are now free. His blood is one perfect blood. He was the only one that had pure blood. His blood was one perfect blood that cleansed the world once and for all. So now animals will no longer be killed. The earth is now cleansed because the blood of Jesus on touching the earth made us all free. Now that is one of the reasons why Jesus was born where animals were kept. But it is not enough for you to know this. It is only those who actually say, Jesus, I'm happy that you did this for me. Thank you. Come into my life. Because he's still living. After 3 days, he resurrected. Now, anybody that wants a new life, all you have to do is, Jesus, please come into my life. I'm sorry, I'm a sinner. And Jesus that is now living will now enter you. So now we don't need the animal sacrifice again. It is broken. The animal sacrifice is broken. Jesus paid one last price. That is why he came where animals were. Now we all know